Inside this suitcase are watches that you wish you knew earlier. What I love about watch collecting is that it's a never-ending journey of discovery. No matter how many watches you see and own, there's always something wonderful to discover. Today we'll focus on a brand like this. A brand with rich heritage, a wide collection, and proprietary technology like no other. What do you prefer? Quartz, manual winding, or automatic winding watches? Let me know in the comment section below. If you wear the same watch every day, having an automatic watch makes a lot of sense. There are different ways of winding the watch though. Of course, we have the quartz way, which as a watch enthusiast isn't really the first thing we think about. Then there's the manual winding movement, a romantic endeavor having to wind your watch regularly by the crown. Although I like this one the most, I think if you want to be practical and just not worry about it, an automatic movement is the way to go. But not to be mistaken, there's many options available when it comes to choosing an automatic movement. You've got the normal rotor, which usually covers half of the case pack. Then there's the micro rotor, which is usually thicker since it needs to be heavier and is placed on a corner of the movement. And last but not least, there's this wonderful peripheral technology which opens up the horizon. This is what we'll talk about in today's video. The proprietary peripheral technology by Karl F. Bucherer. I knew about the brand for a while and they always had some pieces that intrigued me. The watches we'll take under the loop today are the Manero Peripheral Big Date, the Manero Tourbillon Double Peripheral, and last but definitely not least, the Manero Minute Repeater Symphony. My personal favorite, of course. Who can say no to a minute repeater? Karl F. Bucherer was started in Lucerne in Switzerland in 1888 and is named after the founder, Karl Friedrich Bucherer, a company still run by the family today. There is quite a rich history in watches made in that era, as you can see here in this picture, and it wasn't until 2001 that the modern brand as we know it today came to life. This all started with the introduction of the Patravi TravelTech, a COSC certified chronograph with 3 different time zones. Then they introduced the famous peripheral movement A1000, a unique mechanical construction where you have the functionality of an automatic movement with the visual appeal of a hand-wound movement. The winding rotor, which you don't notice at first, is so to speak hidden around the periphery of the movement. That leads to an unobstructed view of the caliber. I really like this type of rotor the most. It winds the movement bidirectionally, is robust as well as thin. Having a rotor like this helps the thinness of the watch, since there isn't an extra component on the top of the movement, instead it's on the side. The rotor also features a shock absorption system, protecting it from impact. The material used for this oscillating weight is tungsten, and the whole system is controlled by ceramic ball bearings, meaning there is no need for lubrication and we have low friction. The Manero Big Date Peripheral is definitely a watch you can use every day. It displays all the most important information one needs. There is a really big date window at 11 o'clock. For changing the date, you just pull out the crown to the first position. If you turn the crown into the other direction, you change the day of the week indicator. That's this small window here at 9 o'clock. There's also a power reserve indicator at 3 o'clock, which shows you how much your watch is wound. This model boasts a power reserve of 55 hours, which is plenty. Especially if you wear your watch daily, you'll have no need winding it. The small second sub-dial at 6 o'clock features a different color, a nice contrast to the rest of the dial. What is also cool is that this movement features hacking seconds or stop seconds, meaning that when you pull out the crown, the seconds hand stops, allowing you to set your watch more precisely. The metal dial features a circular brushed finish, which I think makes the model more modern. The applied indexes are neatly polished and sharp, so are the hands. Both the hour and the minute hand are neatly polished. The magic for me happens when you turn them around and you take a look at the movement. It's a very specific edgy design which I haven't seen anywhere else. Makes sense, since these are their in-house movements. The bridges feature cottage nail decoration, the screws are mirror polished, and did I mention that it's a COSC certified movement? The case dimensions are also suitable for everyday use at 41.6mm in diameter and 12.21 height. The watch comes either on a textile strap or a bracelet, as you can see here. A good value proposition at 8,900 Swiss francs on the strap or 9,300 Swiss francs on the stainless steel bracelet. Now we'll take a closer look at these two high-end pieces, the Manero Tourbillon Double Peripheral and the Manero Minute Repeater Symphony. These two are my favorite because I love high-end watchmaking. I like the symmetry of the dial of the Tourbillon. We have the logo at 6 o'clock and the big floating tourbillon at 12 o'clock, an uncommon position really. This tourbillon movement is COSC certified, which I can't say for many tourbillons. It boasts a power reserve of 65 hours and is very special. The Tourbillon floats, which is the first time I see that, and it features a silicone escapement. It also acts as a seconds indicator, and I love to just take a loop and observe the small gears moving. It's a masterpiece that is fun to film. On the case back there is of course the Côte de Genève decoration and a unique design. As you might have guessed, the Tourbillon also features the peripheral winding rotor. The price of this exact model is 72,000 Swiss francs. What really blew me away were the custom pieces one can order with Bucherer. So if you want a unique Tourbillon watch, they can accommodate pretty much any desire, dial and case individualization. And the best for last, the Manero Minute Repeater Symphony, a watch that any watch enthusiast can appreciate. A grail watch, so to speak. Having a minute repeater in the collection is definitely a future goal. This watch is stunning. What I love about it is the fact that both the Tourbillon and the minute repeater are displayed on the dial. At 12 o'clock you have the floating Tourbillon and seconds hand. At 6 o'clock we have the hammers and the gongs that are visible around the periphery of the dial. They are nicely visible since they are blue. At 6 o'clock there is also the governor or regulator for the minute repeater, and at 9 o'clock we have a small window. This window indicates which position the repeater is in. When the window is white, it means that it's in neutral position. As soon as you pull the crown out, it becomes black, meaning that it's blocked. The cool thing about this repeater is the following. It has like an on and off function. The crown cannot be pulled out while the minute repeater is running, and the repeater cannot be activated while the crown is pulled out. That way you will never damage your watch. When the repeater is playing, the window indicates a music note. The dial is finely grained and the indexes are applied on top. The hands are polished and offer a nice contrast. It is very difficult to decide if I prefer the front or the back more. The case back is just jaw-dropping. There is this deep hole on top where the Tourbillon is, and I love the three-dimensional look of it. On the bottom we have all the components of the minute repeater, and as you play it, we see how the components unwind. The movement, like the others, features Côte de Genève decoration on the bridges and hand beveling edges. The peripheral rotor rotates nicely around the movement and uses a gold weight. Let's now set the watch to 12:59 and activate the minute repeater so we can enjoy its rich sound. The watch has two gongs, so you can clearly distinguish between the hours and the minutes. If you're interested in a masterpiece like this, the price is 380,000 Swiss francs, and it's limited to 88 pieces. Like with the Manero Tourbillon double peripheral, this watch can also be customized. The amount of cool customization I saw really makes me want one even more. That's the cool thing about high-end watchmaking at this price spectrum. You can really get something that speaks to you. Let me know which model that you saw here today you like the most and what you think about the brand in general. Leave a comment down below. I want to thank Bucherer for being a partner of this channel and entrusting me with these beautiful watches. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you next week.